in audio.
May start talking about Aston Villa.
Yes, people, what's going on, man? It is JM here, Villa in Noir. Listen, I know I don't usually do things in the daytime, so I thought, you know what? It's lunch. People can have, people are there doing their thing. Listen, let's have a lunchtime conversation, man. If you are joining me, make sure you're smashing that like button first and foremost. Make sure you're getting involved in the comments. Listen, I'm gonna get into this because we need to be done before 1 o'clock. Yeah. Oh, it has been a very trying few days for Aston Villa fans. Sunday was potentially catastrophic, man. Do you know what I mean? It was potentially catastrophic for us as a team, as a squad. And then the aftermath of that has been really interesting because there's two sets of fans. There's Villa fans that are very much saying to us, listen, we need to be grateful for where we are. Who would have said, if you told us at the beginning of the season we would be fifth place, vying for Champions League in the semi-finals of the Europa League competition, we would have taken it, especially with the summer that we had in terms of the transfers or the non-transfers. We would have taken it. But but on the other side, there's fans that are equally just as grateful, but expected more. I think, where do I stand as a fan at the moment? I understand the gratefulness. I'm grateful for Unai Emery, but I think I've seen this same thing go over and over and over and over again. So I don't know what to expect. So let's think about, at the end of the day, I'm sure that if Thursday goes well, I think all will be forgotten. However, there are some things we need to talk about when it comes to Emery, and some things that need to be spoken about when it comes to our club. And I'm gonna go on a little journey, yeah, with you guys, and I'm gonna start micro or immediate, and I'm just gonna keep building until my final point. And hopefully you can follow me on that. And as I'm doing this, make sure you let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments. If you're watching on the playback, make sure you're commenting, make sure you like it, make sure you're subscribing. And Villa fans, if there's anybody out there at lunchtime that you think might want to have a lunchtime conversation, share the link with them right now. All right, so the first thing I want to do, I want to look at our starting 11 against Tottenham. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Yeah, because obviously Unai Emery made 7 changes from the game against Nottingham Forest. And there's two ways to look at it. Either he was thinking about this week, which is understandable, or he was trying to give people opportunities to prove themselves. And looking at this starting 11 for Aston Villa, I want us to be really, really honest about, if we look at the profile of the players that we have on our side of the ball, and I look at the profile of the players on the other side of the ball in terms of Tottenham, is there much difference in quality? Bearing in mind this is Tottenham's like C team, D team, E team. Is there much difference in quality? Let's go player for player. Goalkeeper, obviously, I'd say that we've obviously got the better goalkeeper in this situation. Right back, is Matty Cash better than Pedro Porro? It's a question to be asked. The two centre backs, Van der Ven and Danso versus Mings and Lindelof. I don't know if we've got a better centre-back pairing there. Ian Maatson, at this present moment, is not a better left-back than Udogie. And we saw that on the weekend. We saw that Ian Maatson can't do anything but run fast. He can't dribble, can't give a reliable crossing. There we go. And midfield too. Obviously, Tielemans is the best out of the double pivots, the best player. But in terms of an actual double pivot, Bentancur and Palhinha versus Tielemans and Bogard, I think there's an equality there. If I'm honest, I feel like it's quite similar. And then let's go forward. The way that Barkley's playing, Conor Gallagher playing out of position in some respects as a 10. Rodgers, Sancho, Tell, Kolomuani, like Richarlison and Abraham. Let's be honest, and I think we have to be real about this. The team that we put out against Tottenham the other day actually wasn't a team that was better than the Tottenham team. So, I'm not saying I'm not surprised. Obviously, we'd expect Villa sitting 5th in the table to beat 18th place at the time that they were. However, is this is showing our squad depth or lack of squad depth. And I think, again, it shows that we have actually overperformed this season. Yes, our strongest 11, I think our strongest 11 can compete with a lot of teams in the Prem, right? But the moment we start dipping into the bench and into the squad players, it gets techie. It gets really techie. It gets really techie. And we have to be honest. That game against Tottenham, for me, said a lot about our squad depth. And the questions that we have to ask as Villa fans, is our squad actually that good? Is our squad actually that good? And yes, we're sitting 5th in the Prem, but is our squad actually that good? Have we actually overperformed? Have we actually overperformed? It's questions that we have to. You guys let me know. You guys let me know. And this is what, Jonathan, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. As remember, I'm starting micro and I'm building a case to the macro. Okay, so stick with me for the next half an hour or so. All right, let's go. Let's go and have a look at our squad. And I want every single person to answer this question as I'm doing this. When I go through the players, let me know if you think they're Premier League quality, or let me know if you feel that it can start in the Premier League, or are they squad players in the Premier League slash championship standard players. All right, let's just go through the squad, Aston Villa squad. Big up to everyone that's jumping in right now. I'm just gonna slap these comments on there. All right. Big up Philly. I'm gonna have to make him a mod soon. Yo, we could have relegated Spurs, but let's have a look at the squad. I want us to be really honest now, fans. Let's be real. I'm not trying to be trying to garner sympathy, but I want us to ask the question about whether this squad actually is top 5 quality. Let's be straight. So this is Aston Villa's squad. Let's do this. Let's add this to the stage. Let's go. So obviously, Emi Martinez, 100%. is a solid starter in the Premier League. One of the better goalkeepers in the league, in my perspective, and one of the best in the world, in my perspective, as well. Okay. Marco Biza, I think he's been a brilliant secondary goalkeeper. Yes, I think he can play in the Premier League in terms of as a good number 2. Okay. Let's go. Here we go. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. And chat, listen, I want you to literally just be letting me know as I'm going through these players. Let me know yes or no with these players. You just slap it in the chat. Matty Cash. He's not a Premier League player. He might be a good backup. Yeah, a good substitute. Yeah, 100%. Victor Lindelof. Again, I think he doesn't start Premier League, but I think he's a good backup in the Premier League. Good squad player to have when you're playing on different fronts in the season. Okay, Ezri Konsa. Okay, he is our England. He's our England player. You know, I think he still has some growing to do. But I don't even think he's that young, to be honest, to be growing. But yes, I think he starts in the Premier League. Okay, 100%. This spreader right here, Tyrone Mings. We all know his time is done. His time is done. He's not a Premier League standard player anymore. He's not a Premier League player anymore. Okay? And it's time that we need to let him go. Let's get to the next line. And I don't think the next line gets any better. Luca Dean. I think Luca Dean is a good backup. Yes, he's a French international. I get it. In fact, no, I think Luca Dean can start in the Prem. I think he can start. I'm gonna be honest. He can start. Powell, again, he can start in the Premier League. I think he's a quality centre back, and I think just needs to put a little bit more meat on him, and he'll go. This brother, Andres Garcia, guys, have you seen him? Have you seen him? Have you seen him? I ain't seen him. I ain't seen him. Where is he? We bought him and we ain't seen him. Like, and the thing is, I'll be honest, guys. When he first played for Villa, I saw him in a Europa League game last year, and he literally couldn't even do a throw in properly. Couldn't do a throw in properly. No. We're not saying top five. So, Bertie, just say I'm not talking about top five. You know, yeah, are they top five standard? No, but they can't. I'm trying to establish today whether they're even Premier League standard players, right? But then, you know, top five, I'll answer that question when I do say they can start, whether they're top five. I don't think anybody's top five at the moment in our defense, right? And that says a lot in our squad. Ian Matson, guys, you let me know because I got nothing more to say about this guy. I think he's trash. Do you know what I mean? A waste of money, absolute waste of money. So that's our defense. So in our defense, in our defensive unit, we have said maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 people that can play in the Premier League. Whether they can start Ezri Konsa, Digne, and Powell, but they're not top five. That's our squad defensively, and we've got keepers. Midfielders might get a little bit more hope. Ross Barkley, I think he's past it now. Can he be a good squad player? I think he can be a good squad player. Yeah. John McGinn, Super John McGinn, goes without saying he starts in the Premier League. I think he adds to any squad in this league. You know, whether it's the top team or the bottom team, his energy, his tenacity, the way he plays, the way he leads is actually something that can't be. There's no metric to really kind of measure it. So John McGinn, Yuri Tielemans, when he's on form, when he's in form, he's one of the best midfielders in the league. Let's be straight about that. He is. He starts. He's a Premier League starter. Harvey Elliott, we haven't seen much of him. But I think he's a Premier League player, 100%. The next line, any of you guys that know me, any of you guys that know and follow my channel, again, I'm going to say, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Know how I feel about Emery Buendia. 100%, Jonathan. We're going to get there. Emery Buendia is a squad player. And we've had a squad player starting most of our Premier League games this season. He's great off the bench. He can do things off the bench. He doesn't start well. He messes our flow. That's all I'm gonna leave it with Emery Buendia because I don't want to get on the rant. I've only got a few minutes left before I have to go. Jadon Sancho, we already know, 200 grand a week, guys. Waste of money, waste of space. He might be a Prem player based on what we know, but not here, not at Villa. Dougie, I would say yes, but not a starter. Okay. But then again, have we seen the best of Dougie? I'm unsure. I'm unsure. Unsure. Guys, make sure you let me know in the chat what your thoughts are. Douglas Luiz saying he's washed. Sancho is a joke. We already know. Amadou Onana, my guy. Unfortunately, he's just not. He just what made of Weetabix, as people like to say. You can't rely on him to get through a season. The same with our talismanic midfielder called Mr. Boubacar Kamara. Listen, he's top 5 when he's fit. Leon Bailey, unfortunately, my Jamaican brother there, washed. Not a Premier League player anymore. Not even a squad player. Doesn't add anything to our squad. Beauregard, I know he's got a lot of flack over the last few days. I've given him a lot of flack over the last few days. He's not a starter in the Premier League, but he's a great utility player. I don't think he's a starter. He doesn't start for most teams. He doesn't start for most teams, but I think he's a brilliant piece to have in terms of filling gaps in whatever you're doing. So as much as he's got loads and loads and loads of like hate over the last few days and stuff, I want to say that he adds in terms of just you can just put him in to fill in a gap or just come on at 70 minutes to just do a role. Do you know what I mean? Just not in the middle of midfield. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't done well when he starts. Okay, part of like a bit of a purple patch. Morgan Rogers, yes, 100%. We know he's a starter. I think he's tired, and I think that he just doesn't. He's tired. I'm not making excuses. I'm not a Morgan Rogers apologist, but I think he just, and I think he's the lack of quality around him is showing in terms of how he feels. Yeah. Yo, Jonathan, you said it just as I didn't even see your comment. As I said it, you typed it. It's because he's not got players around him. You see how he is when he plays for England. Much better quality. He surrounds people with quality. You get the best of them. All right. And this Allison, Morgan Rogers 2.0, we just don't know where he is. Like he's injury prone as well. And isn't this scary, guys? In the squad that we have, we've got 2 forwards, guys. Just two. And neither of them are firing. Tammy, for one, Tammy can't get game time. So we don't even know if he's a Prem. I think he can be a good backup striker, 100%, Tammy Abraham. And then Ollie Watkins, on his day, he's a starter in the Premier League. On his day, he can be in the top 5, and he really can. But the inconsistency from this guy has cost us this season. Yeah. So, what is the bigger picture here, guys? So we've gone through our squad for the season, and I've probably named maximum 12 people that can start in the Premier League, right? A lot of them aren't starters in the Premier League, but this is what we've been dealing with for this season. This is what we've been dealing with. And we've got to 5th. So you know what? Big, we have to give some shout outs to Unai Emery, man. We have to give some shout outs to Unai Emery because in reality, he's taken a not a trash team. I don't want to talk about. He's taken a team that really is mid-table at best, right? At best, and we're in the top 5. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. But that doesn't absolve him of the blame. That does not absolve him of the blame, because this is the problem. Unai Emery has been here, came 1st of November 2022. So it's been 3.5 years. That is more than enough time to build your squad. Let me just go back to this squad actually quickly. Sorry, my bad, guys. Let me go back to this squad. All right, let me go back to this squad. Let's go back to the squad. How many of these players in the squad are pre Unai Emery. Let's go through. You got 1, Emi Martinez. 2, Matty Cash. I want to say 3, Ezri Konsa. 4, Tyrone Mings. 5, Luca Dean. 6, John McGinn. 7, Emery Wendia. 8, Leon Bailey. 9, Boubacar Kamara. 10/11, Tammy Abraham. Guys, the problem is we haven't bought well. We haven't built a solid enough squad. And the person at fault for that is Unai Emery. And this is the big picture I wanted to get to. I'm going to be here for another 10 minutes, guys. Literally just 10 more minutes. We're going to go through Unai Emery's purchases. Yeah? We're going to go through Unai Emery's purchases since he's come in. Right? And we're going to go from the most expensive to the least. And how many of these have worked out? Let's be honest. Let's go. Let's go. Because this is the problem that I wanted to address. Unai Emery's done a great job with us getting far or doing more with less. But whose fault is it that we're doing more with less? Because you've had opportunity after opportunity to make things work, but you spend poorly. Amadou Onana, he's done well. Injury prone though. Diaby, 55 million euros. I don't know what the conversion is. But we sold him. We sold him. And he was one of our bright sparks that season. Yeah? He was one of our bright sparks that season. Sorry, let me just change the screen so you guys can see everything in the comments. Yeah? 44 million euros for Ian Matson, who he's our 3rd most expensive signing in Unai Emery's tenure. Waste of money at present. He's not worth that money. Okay, Pau Torres, yep, he's done well. Yep, 100% we can say that he's maybe he's got the bang for the buck. Evan Gesand, guys, didn't even last a season. Didn't even last a season. Come on, listen, guys, I want you to make sure you're liking this stream. This is a good conversation that we're having right now. Let's be real, because I wanted us to be real, because we went from the micro of the game against Tottenham and we're looking at the macro now. The spending under Unai Emery has been atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Evan Gesand, John Duran. Yes, that was we spent a certain amount of money on him, 29 mil euros, but we sold him. We sold him. We sold him when he was kicking on. We sold him because we wanted to make Ollie Watkins happy. I understand that there may have been some personnel issues, this, that, and the other, but he was keeping us in everything last year. We can't forget that goal against Bayern Munich, bro. Who does that? There was a star quality in this young man that just needed to be harnessed, but we gave it away. We gave it away, and now we're saying, oh, yeah, look at how he's performing now. Bro, I'm telling you, around some strong players, around a strong manager, that young man could have been absolutely electric for us, but we sold him. All right? Donyell Marlin, guys, he was here a year, and understandably, he wanted to bounce because he wanted the time. He wanted the game time. And you know what? In a weird way, when he did start, I don't think he did well for us, but he was a great player to come off the bench and change the game, but we haven't done anything since then. What are we doing? What are we doing? 25 mil euros. Tammy's coming in now. We bought him. We're not playing him. So look, all these, so John Duran, Donyell Marlin, Tammy Abraham have all come in, don't get played, and they don't get played. They don't get played. Come on, guys, are we not seeing the bigger picture here? There is something about the transfer policy. There's something about the way that Unai Emery works that's just it's problematic. Why are we spending money on these players and not playing them? Cameron Archer, same thing. He was young, yes, didn't get game time. All these people, Illing Jr., we have never seen him put on a Villa shirt. Moreno, Dobbin, Allison. Tell me any of these people that you've seen, guys. I know some of them is about PSR, all them things there. Morgan Rogers down at 15th. Yes, that's been a success. Yes, that's been a success. But let's keep scrolling. Who else has been a success in this period of his buys, bro? Who? And all these loans, the only loans that we're happy about really, is Asensio and Rashford. Here we go. Victor Lindelof, free transfer. I think that's worked out pretty well. Tielemans, free. Worked out well. Isn't it crazy that our best signings have been the cheapest ones? But we're out here wasting money on players that don't play. Marcus Rashford, Marcus Asensio, yes, that helped us last season. Waste of time, Jadon Sancho. Harvey Elliott, we haven't seen him. Clement Longley, hardly saw him. Guys, there's a problem with our transfer policy. There is a problem with our recruitment. That is why Aston Villa are where we are. That is why when the rubber hits the road, we're struggling. Yeah? That's where we are struggling. And to go back to this game against Spurs and to show you that starting lineup versus theirs, yes, we're 5th in the Premier League. And yes, they were 18th in the Premier League. But the teams were very, very equal in terms of quality, in terms of what they put out on the pitch. And that was Tottenham's C or D team. Our recruitment needs to be better. And this is why Champions League is imperative. How do you attract good players? Top competition. How do you hold on to your players to answer this question? I think he stays if we get Champions League. But if we get an astronomical fee for him, then he'll go. But our squad depth needs to be addressed. We need to be better with our spending, better with our salaries. Morgan Rogers, who is our best player, is on the same wage as Emery Buendia, is on less than half on what Jadon Sancho is on. So I understand why we need to have a better, a new contract for him. Big up Philly, 100%. I think he'll leave if we don't get better players. But this is what I'm saying. Villa's B team is equivalent to Tottenham's C or D team. That is the issue. So, guys, if you just joined me, I want you to go back and watch this again. I've gone from a micro level, right? And I've gone bigger and bigger and bigger just to look at what truly is going on at Aston Villa. And what we saw against Tottenham is an indictment about a bigger issue that we have when it pertains to our transfer policy. But this is why Champions League is imperative. We need Champions League. So Unai, Mandem, lads, people, villains, let's get behind them. But the people on the pitch need to get the job done. They need to get the job done. Right? Let us get to that final and have a fighting chance. And let's beat Burnley on Sunday and just cement that Champions League spot, man. I don't want to be worrying anymore, you know. I don't want to be going into that game against Liverpool and be like, oh my gosh, worrying. We need to need to do it. So, guys, listen. Appreciate you jumping on. It was a quick it was a quick lunchtime stream whilst this is on my brain. These might be coming up more in the future. But make sure you're smashing that like button, people. Make sure even if you're watching the playback, make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you join me tomorrow, 5 p.m. I'll be live again, 5 p.m. tomorrow for the boardroom with KG and KJ, Chelsea and Liverpool fans respectively, having a discussion about the previous weekend, the previous fixtures, and also looking forward to these for this next week, as that battle for top 5 has really become pretty intense now, pretty intense. So join me again tomorrow at 5 p.m. and on Thursday it's crunch time. It's crunch time for Aston Villa. It's crunch time for Aston Villa. We need to win that game against Forest. By hook or by crook, we need to win that game. So yeah, guys, big up to you guys for this short stream. Make sure you're watching the play. If you're watching the playback, just like it, sub to the channel, share this with somebody as well, and go and have a great rest of the day. I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Big up to everybody. Peace.